Hey, it's hey, you caught me. Dr. Bob Flower, and this is our master pattern report for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2013. Okay, um, I personally didn't do yesterday because I didn't want it to be an April Fool's errand on you. But let's talk about a few of the stocks and commodities that we're interested in. Um, First off, our CSX stock is moving along very nicely. It's slow but sure, and you know we still are very bullish on it. Buying some options so that the move is enhanced. Um, we just switched our April options to the May options because it's what we do is if we like a stock, um, we'll sell the put options, and there's like a double bang there. If we're right, and in this one we certainly have been right and made a nice score. We did the same thing with oil. Last time we spoke, we mentioned that we like oil, and we're into oil. We're doing the same thing there. We bought we sold some put options, and that's doing nicely. The one that we bought straight out was Turkey, TUR, the ELF, and that's doing very well. And we think that that's going to continue. So um, we hope that it's going to be a very favorable over the medium term here. Um, Now, let's talk a little bit about our metals, especially our silver. We believe that metals are going to be weak through April. We don't see anything significant happening in metals until the end of April, beginning of May. And the same with all the metals. So you may want to pull in your horns and wait for the end of the month, because I think you're going to see some pretty significant lows here on both gold and silver. Um, Maybe certainly under $25 on the silver, and maybe as low as 1560, 1550 on the gold. Now, let's discuss what's going on here with gold and the stock market. I'm sorry, well, the metals, gold and silver. The investors have bailed on the metals, especially gold. For instance, Saros had a very huge position in gold, and in December sold it all. Um, Will it come back? Yes, of course, it will come back, because these are very trying times, and it seems to be the one thing that people can ultimately depend upon. Okay, Arizona just announced that they're accepting gold and silver as currency payment. And I think you're going to see more. You'll see South Dakota go that way pretty soon as well. Um, okay, so watch your positions here. You know, if you're a longer term, medium or longer term, don't worry about it. Um, this is not going anywhere. But if you like to trade, we're going to wait until the end of April before we reintroduce ourselves to a position with gold and silver. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Cyprus and people getting robbed because of political inefficiency and ignorance. One of the controllers from another European nation had said shortly after that, perhaps this is the model for bank bailouts in Europe. We just give people a haircut on their deposits. And then quickly retracted the statement. But that could very well be the case. This is what they ultimately have in mind. Which scared the living hell out of most of us. What we're doing right now is we have been searching since then for the past 2 weeks, trying to find some safe havens for our money. And this is what we've come up with so far. Mutual funds, especially very low risk mutual funds that invest in stable type, U.S. Treasuries or something similar to that. We haven't completed our research on this yet, and when we do, we'll report that to you. Offshore accounts. Now, when I talk about European accounts, euro accounts, in certain countries like Germany and Norway, I happen to like those two countries very much, and I feel very secure there. Switzerland is another one, but Switzerland is very small, and while it has excellent fiscal values, I think Germany and Norway are a little bit more proactive and up to date. Norway is doing very, very well as a nation because of their recent oil discoveries over the past 5 years. So, if any of you have any ideas other than buying gold and silver, because there is somewhat of a volatility there, especially in today's markets. Let's hear from you. But right now, that's what we're looking at. And now, relative to what's going on, I had several people recently at a get-together asking, what the hell is going on with the stock market? All this bad news in Cyprus and whatnot, and still the market is heading, all-time highs. Well, the answer is very simple, really. QE infinity. As long as the government is pumping money, and I think at the latest rate is something like $40 billion a month, into the economy, the kids on Wall Street love it. Don't forget, Wall Street is very single-minded in its approach to things. It doesn't look at things long-term. It looks at today and tomorrow, maybe next week. But basically, that's the way it functions. So when you're gauging what to do with the stock market, you really have to look at immediate term. I mean, it's turned into a trader's haven, and most of the people in the market today are traders. And they're playing their games back and forth. Run it up and then short it. Run it up, then short it. So you need to keep that in mind, because regardless of how bad things get, it's going to it's really going to depend on what happens with the quantitative easing that's going to govern that. The minute you hear that that's going to be letting up, you wait and see. You'll see that market turn around in a flash. One other thing I wanted to mention to you is, we've talked about real estate, and it seems pretty obvious that there is a lot of real estate that's starting to do very well in all parts of the country. Reports from Florida, and we're in Arizona right now, especially. Things are looking up. Are they Red hot? No, no, they're not. They're not red hot, but they are getting better and stronger. And again, the mortgage rates are certainly helping quite a bit. So I would say that right now, if you had money that you wanted to invest in real estate, I've given you a couple of locations, Fountain Hills in Arizona, for instance, and you really want to go for it. Look at vacation homes, especially out of the country, the Caribbean, South America, and your European, Mediterranean type facilities. Although over there it is kind of expensive because of the euro, but South America, Central America, the Caribbean, it's a great time to buy if you have the cash, and if you are careful and conscious to purchase in an environment where there are good rental facilities, right? And judge with as select a judgment that you can use what your costs are going to be, including your financing and maintenance and taxes or whatever, and your income. All right? Be very conservative. If it looks like you have a chance to at least break even and play a capital gains game, fine. If you can find something, something that maybe that has two houses on it, or sort of a house and a cottage, where you can pick up additional income, well, go for it. And of course, the fact that you're going to be involved in an offshore economy can be a plus to some of you as well. And it's always nice to take a trip down to Costa Rica or Panama or Montevideo, which is where we're planning on going this year. So I would say look at vacation homes. The United States is fine as well, because they're very reasonable, and there's still good money to be made there. It's like the third or the fourth inning insofar as the market appreciation. Okay, so that's it for this week in beautiful sunny Arizona. We're looking eagerly at the prospects of safe havens for our money, and as we find them, we will relate them to you. I think this is very important to be on your docket right now, because this is with the failure of Stockton, California, you're going to see a heck of a lot more than that, and you will. I believe you'll soon see perhaps a state declaring bankruptcy. So watch Dr. Bob, and I'm here to help, and whenever you get the chance and you'd like to have some questions or issue answered or raised, please www.drbobflower.com. All right. Be good. Good talking to you. See you soon.